What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of My Team Career Mode. Today, we are here for the start of the Italian Grand Prix here at the circuit Monza. So, it is going to be a dry race, and we need not worry about the wet weather setups. As right now, we are at the middle of the R&D chart, so definitely we have been improving a lot. And hopefully, in the upcoming races, also, we'll be carrying on this good momentum and gaining some much needed points for the team. So, we are going for an aggressive setup, and we'll be using the as least amount of downforce as possible. And that is the reason why I'm just tweaking some of the setups so that we can gain some much needed straight line speed here at the circuit Monza, because obviously this is a DRS fest, so whoever gets the highest straight line speed, he will be definitely having some advantage over the other competitors. So you can see in our first push lap we were P19, and in our second push lap we were getting slipstream from the Haas in front of us, which just puts us in P13 position. So definitely a good Q1 session for us, as Fernando Alonso is in P14, and definitely we both have qualified for the Q2 session. So let's see what we can achieve in the Q2. So in our first push lap we went to P16, and obviously we did not have pace in the Q2 session. So again we went for a second push lap, and still we are at P16, and Fernando Alonso is in P11. So definitely in the Q2 session we lost a lot of pace, and this is because of the fact that in the Q1 session only we had to use new tires, as Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc and Perez are in the top 2 of the grid, and we are at P16 and our teammate is in P11. So it's 5 red lights, and away we go for the start of the Italian Grand Prix, and it is a little bit of wheel spin we get, which just makes us lose at least couple of positions. So now it is up to us that how we are going to proceed with this race. So I was thinking of making a move down the inside of this first turn, and fortunately we just able to stop our car and not get damaged by colliding with the other cars, and that is the main objective here at the turn 1 at the Italian circuit, that you have to be careful, otherwise you might be losing your front wing, which is not necessary. So right now we are safe in the turn 1, and we are at P10 position, so we definitely gained 6 positions, which is just the fortune of a dive bomb. And we also thought of going for a dive bomb on Hamilton, but we couldn't, as he just covered off the apex, and we just put our car into the gravel a bit, which just loses us momentum. And now we are at P9 position behind Gasly, and we just go down inside of Gasly and make the move stick, and we also go inside Schumacher, and now we are at P7 position. So we are using the freshness of our tires, and we are also using a plenty of ERS, because as we made the R&D upgrades, our ERS levels have definitely improved. Now they are regenerating very well, and they are also proving quite handy in these situations such as this Monza track. So we have to use the ERS very much fruitfully, because that is the reason why we'll be able to gain some positions here at the Italian Grand Prix. As now George Russell is in front of us, and we just brake too late, we just offsets our car, and we just make the move stick around the outside of Russell at the Parabolica. And now Lance Stroll is in front of us, and you can see the straight line speed of the McLaren. He's just pulling away like anything, and we are at P6 position, so definitely we have improved a lot. And here at the lap 2 you can see we were just behind Lance Stroll, and we just give him a tap at the diffuser because he just braked too early, and I was not ready for that. And fortunately it was just a light tap, and it did not cause any damage to me or Lance Stroll. So right now we are at P6 position in the lap 2, and you can see it is going to be a terrific race, because obviously we made a move down inside of this chicane and make the move stick, but obviously we get a tank slapper and also get into the gravel, which just loses our momentum, and Lance Stroll just overtakes us. As now we are behind again Lance Stroll, and we just make the move at the Lesmo 1. So it was a crucial move, I would say, because our car is not quite settled, and it is becoming quite a thing to just manage this car, because obviously we went for a less downforce setup, which just what can I say, just grinds the tire of the car, and which can lead to a high tire wear, because obviously there is less downforce which is pushing your tires to the ground, and it is not giving as much grip as possible. But we have to sacrifice one thing. So if you have to go for some straight line speed, you have to use the less downforce setup, and that is what we have planned here at this Italian Grand Prix. So let's see, right now we are at P2 position, just behind Verstappen. And so obviously Red Bull is a championship contending car, and it will be a difficult thing to just overtake Verstappen. He's having some terrific straight line speed, and also his cornering abilities of the car is just superior, and we are just having to slide a bit because we went for some aggressive setup, and it might have to pay some price in the corners. So that is the reason why we are just sliding here at the Lesmo 1 and the Lesmo 2. But we make a move down the inside. Can we make the move stick? But Verstappen just hangs on around the outside, but somehow we just got unsettled at the Lesmo 2 curb, and we just loses our momentum, and now Norris and Verstappen again overtake us. So obviously it did not give us any damage, hopefully, and that is the reason why we are just pushing so hard. And I was at this moment thinking that maybe I should do some undercut. We are stuck at this traffic situation, and we are not just able to overtake these cars. So that is the reason why I was thinking of going for an undercut and go for the hard tires, so that we can at least gain some points, as Jahan Daruvala gets DNF'd here at the Italian Grand Prix. So the Alfa Romeo has some reliability issues at this Italian Grand Prix and kind of their engine supplier and their home Grand Prix also. So quite an unfortunate day for Jehan Daruvala. As right now we are at the pits and going for some hard tires, and hopefully this will be able to undercut many of the competitors, as in our first push lap we just go around the outside of Dragovic and make the move stick, and we were just going parallel for a bit at the Lesmo one, but fortunately he just backs out and concedes the position to us. And obviously we have to use the freshness of these hard tires in these upcoming laps so that we can gain those positions back which we have lost by doing that undercut. So right now we are at P20 position and Latifi is in front of us, and obviously he's in the AlphaTauri which is having some straight line speed, but we are having to use our ERS quite a lot so that we can just get ahead of Latifi, and also we can get the DRS right here. Yeah, so we get the DRS along with the cars in front also. So now you can see Schwartzman is too slow because obviously he's in the Aston Martin which is quite at the bottom of the R&D chart. So we have to now play carefully and utilize our talent and 200 IQ to just make the moves. Schwartzman again went for a move around the outside at this straight, but fortunately we were able to brake early and claim the apex of this curve, which just gets us the P17 position. And right now Guan Yu Zhou is in front of us and we also claim P16 position, but as soon as I was looking back I just went over the grass, which is just quite unfortunate. So yeah, I was just looking back to see where Guan Yu Zhou was. So as right now in the lap 11 you can see Kevin Magnussen in front of us, so definitely he is having the Haas engine which is quite superior, and now Albon is also trying to make a move down the inside at this turn 1, but we claim onto the position and we were just careful enough to not collide too hardly with the back of the Haas, and fortunately it did not give us any damage and it did not cause any spinella also here at the Italian Grand Prix. So we claim the P15 position and again we make the move down the inside of Alex Albon and make the move stick. So now P14 position is for us, and now it is all about sustenance of just going for the moves one by one and claiming the positions, because obviously we are using the hard tires and it will be quite a thing to just make the moves early, because obviously our tire wear will be high as we go around the outside of our teammate Alonso and make the move stick. So P9 position, so we are into the points, and right now I was thinking that maybe I should just utilize the pace of this car to good effect and just have some patience and play the long game. So still there are 14 laps to go and we have to just claim the positions back, because obviously you can see Alonso is having some terrific straight line speed. So he just went for the move at the straights and now we have to again claim the position back. So we just gain our composure at the Ascari chicane and we are just trying to align ourselves with Alonso and use the slipstream and also utilize the ERS levels so that we can get the DRS at the next straight, which will be at the start finish straight, and make the move stick on Alonso as we go around the outside at this parabolica, and we were hanging around the outside and we just make the move stick. So definitely we're using the hard tires to good effect and we have to claim these positions, otherwise you can see here we just undercut a lot of guys. So now our teammate also goes into the pits and we are at P4 position. So now Carlos Sainz is in front of us and he also goes into the pits. So definitely this undercut has worked, as I almost collided with the pitfall, because again I was looking at Carlos Sainz and did not focus where the racing line was. So again a bit of silly mistake I would say, as we just go around the outside at this chicane, and yeah, I just put my car onto the gravel, which just offsets my balance of the car, and by the time I was able to put the throttle we just collided with the fencing, and which just gives us a wing damage. And obviously this was quite a bit, because so I was suffering on the right-handers, because that is where the left wing just proves to be quite useful. So you can see the amount of understeer we are facing. So I just decided to go into the pits and put on a new set of medium tires. As you can see, we also had some tire lock up at the start of the pits, so that is the reason of how much understeer we are facing. But look at our teammate, they just did not change our wing. So now we are stuck with this again broken wing. So we again go into the pits for a new set of wings. So this time it was quite a calamity of this race till now, because obviously if our team had changed the wing in the first instance itself, then we would not have to make this again third pit stop. So definitely quite an unfortunate thing for us, as I should have selected the command to change the wing, but they did not practice that definitely. So it was quite an extra pit stop which we have to make. So now again it is the hunt for points, and we are at P19 position with 7 laps to go, and we are using the medium tires. So obviously we are quite faster, but these medium tires are not fresh, they are used tires and they have some significant amount of wear on them. So that is the reason why we will not be just as fast as we would, but still we make the move down instead of Piastri, and he just concedes the position and we get into P18. So now we can see again Dragovic is in front of us, and you can see the tank slapper moments we are facing, because obviously these tires are old tires, and they definitely have some a decent amount of tire wear, which is just not decent enough for us to make the mistake. As I'm just weaving around the straights to make our teammate aware that I'm going to overtake you, and we overtake Alonso and claim onto the P12 position, and we also overtake Sunoda and get P11, and again we overtake Ocon and get P10. So it was a race of overtakes because obviously we went for an aggressive setup, and that is the reason why we were so speedy in the straight line. As we again overtake Lance Stroll also and get into P9, and in the next lap we overtake Carlos Sainz almost in the Lesmo 2 and get into P8 position. So this is the penultimate lap, and obviously in the ultimate lap we were trying to overtake at least Hamilton so that we can claim the P5 position. But let's see what we can achieve, as Gasly was just trying to stick his nose at around the inside, but somehow we just got the extra grip around the outside of the track where the rubber is more, and we make the mistake, and we also have overtake Hamilton at the final lap and claim it to P6 position. So it was a decent recovery drive from me, as obviously we were at the P16, and from there we went to P1, then again went to P19, then to P16. So it was a brilliant recovery race, I would say, as we are P10 in the Drivers' Championship, and we are at P6 in the Constructors' Championship. So this was about the Italian Grand Prix, and hope you guys like this video, and do give it a thumbs up and subscribe this channel for daily F1 22 content. And we are doing some R&D upgrades, and the next Grand Prix will be at the Japanese Grand Prix. So we will just try to go to some events and give some trip to our teammate Fernando Alonso so he can come back rejuvenate. This was about the Italian Grand Prix, and we'll meet you again at the next Grand Prix, which will be at the Japanese Grand Prix at the Suzuka International Circuit. So till then, peace.